Imagine this. You're lying in bed, late at night, the room dimly lit by the glow of your phone screen, and suddenly, a whisper in your mind pulls you toward something you swore you'd resist. What if that pull isn't just a fleeting temptation, but a hidden cry from the deepest parts of your soul? Hey there, friend. Pull up a chair, because I'm about to share a story that might just change how you see yourself. It's not your typical tale. It's drawn from the profound insights of Dr. Benjamin Cole, a brilliant American psychologist who delved into the mysteries of the human mind. He believed that what we call addiction to lust isn't really about the lust at all. It's a map to the wounds we've buried. And today, I'm going to walk you through 9 hidden layers of this puzzle, layer by layer, like unraveling an old family secret that's been waiting for you to discover it. Trust me, by the end, you might feel a tear well up or a spark of hope ignite, because this is about reclaiming the real you. Let me start by painting a picture for you. Picture a young man named Jack Thompson, sitting alone in his cluttered apartment in Chicago, the city lights flickering outside his window like distant stars. Jack's not a bad guy. He's got a steady job, friends who care. But every night, he finds himself scrolling through endless images, chasing that rush that promises escape but leaves him hollow. He tells himself it's harmless, just a way to unwind after a long day. But deep down, he knows it's more. It's like an invisible chain, pulling him back time and again. Dr. Cole would say, Jack's story is everyone's story in some way, because lust isn't the villain here. It's a symptom, a clever disguise for something much older and more painful. And unless Jack and you face what's lurking beneath, that cycle will keep spinning. So, let's dive into the first 3 layers, shall we? We'll take it slow, like friends sharing secrets over coffee, because I want you to feel every word. Layer 1. Lust as the shadow's clever mask. Oh, this one hits close to home. It all begins in those quiet moments that aren't peaceful at all. They're the kind that buzz with unease. Think of Emily Carter, a teacher from Seattle, who comes home exhausted from a day of shaping young minds. She flops onto her couch, picks up her tablet, and starts swiping, not out of genuine desire, but to drown out the silence that's screaming inside her. Dr. Cole described this as the shadow, the forgotten corners of our psyche where we've shoved all the messy parts of ourselves, the fears, the regrets, the unmet needs that society told us to hide. For Emily, it's the echo of a childhood where she felt invisible, always the quiet one in a loud family. Lust sneaks in wearing this shadow, like a costume, turning raw pain into something thrilling. Instead of facing the sting of rejection from a recent breakup, it morphs into a craving that feels exciting, almost adventurous. Why feel the hurt when you can chase the high? It whispers. But here's the heartbreaking truth. Every time Emily gives in, she's not satisfying anything. She's just burying that shadow deeper. It grows stronger in the dark, demanding more attention until it consumes her thoughts. You're not flawed, my friend. You're just out of touch with your true self. Next time that urge hits, like it did for Jack when he was alone on a rainy evening, try this. Pause. Breathe. Ask yourself gently, what's really bubbling up here? What sadness or fear am I trying to outrun? It's not about fighting. It's about listening. And when you do, lust reveals itself not as the enemy, but as a reluctant guide pointing you toward healing. Moving on to layer 2. The tricky illusion of dopamine versus true joy. This is where so many of us get tangled. Remember Mike Reynolds, a software engineer from Austin, Texas? Mike's days are packed with code and deadlines, but at night, he turns to his screen for that quick fix. The heart pounds, the anticipation builds. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff, ready to jump into bliss. But Dr. Cole warned that this isn't happiness. It's a chemical trick. Dopamine is the hype man, promising the world but delivering an empty box. It's that buzz before the click, the thrill of the hunt, making you think you're one step away from fulfillment. For Mike, it started innocently, a way to relax after stressful meetings, but soon it became a loop. Each hit left him more drained, like eating candy when your body craves a real meal. True joy? That's quieter, more profound. It's in the simple things. A walk in the park with the sun on your face, a heartfelt conversation with a loved one, or losing yourself in a book that stirs your soul. Dr. Cole often said, our greatest pains come from mistaking fleeting sparks for lasting light. Imagine Mike one evening, phone in hand, feeling that familiar pull. Instead of diving in, he sets it down and steps outside, feeling the cool breeze. Is this real joy, or just another temporary high? He asks himself. And in that question, the chains start to loosen. You deserve that kind of peace, friend. Don't settle for the counterfeit. Now, layer 3. The inner child's unspoken plea. This one's tender, might even bring a lump to your throat. Deep inside, every one of us is that little kid we once were, carrying memories we'd rather forget. Take Sarah Jenkins, a nurse from Boston, who grew up in a home where affection was scarce. Her parents were loving in their way, but busy, distant, leaving her to imagine worlds where she was cherished, held tight. Dr. Cole taught that this inner child doesn't crave adult desires. It yearns for safety, for someone to say, "You're seen, you're loved, just as you are." But when those needs go ignored, they twist into something else. For Sarah, lust became a bandage over that old wound, a fantasy of connection that felt like love, but was just a shadow of it. She'd find herself lost in it after long shifts, not for pleasure, but to soothe the ache of feeling unseen. It's like trying to feed a starving heart with sugar, Dr. Cole might say. No amount of temporary highs can mend emotional neglect. Instead, try speaking to that child within. Sarah did one night, sitting quietly. "What do you really need right now?" Tears came, then clarity. It's not judgment we need. It's compassion. Healing starts when we parent ourselves with the kindness we missed. Whew, that was deep, wasn't it? But hold on, because things get even more intense. These first layers are just the beginning. In the next part, we'll uncover why your cravings spike right when you're on the verge of a breakthrough, why the addiction turns from exciting to exhausting, and what it all means for your path to freedom. If you've ever thought you were improving only to slip back harder, stick with me. This explains the hidden trap. Your moment of real change is knocking. Let's answer it together. You know that feeling when the urges seem to hit harder than ever, like a storm building, just as the sky was clearing? It's frustrating, heartbreaking even, making you wonder if freedom is just a dream. But what if I told you that's not defeat? It's the dawn of something new. Dr. Benjamin Cole, with his keen eye on the human spirit, observed that our unconscious mind times these eruptions perfectly, pushing buried truths to the surface when we're ready to face them. It might feel like everything's crumbling, but really, it's the old walls breaking down. Let's explore the next 3 layers, friend, and I'll share stories that might mirror your own, stirring that fire within to keep going. Layer 4. Addiction blooms in the soil of emptiness. It's not about weakness. It's about a void that's begging to be filled. Consider Tom Harlan, a mechanic from Denver whose days blend into a monotonous grind, fixing cars, paying bills, repeat. Without a deeper purpose, that emptiness gnaws at him, and lust steps in like a quick fix, offering a spark of life in an otherwise dull routine. Dr. Cole emphasized that meaning is the soul's true nourishment. Without it, we turn to whatever's handy, even if it's junk for the spirit. For Tom, lust was that easy escape, immediate, no strings attached. It mimicked passion, but left no real warmth, like a bonfire made of paper that burns out fast. The key to breaking free? It's not sheer willpower. It's rediscovering what lights you up. Tom started small, volunteering at a local garage for underprivileged kids, teaching them skills. Suddenly, he had a why, a reason that stirred his heart. What am I truly living for? He pondered one evening, and the old cravings faded. You don't need more rules, my friend. You need a purpose that makes your soul sing. Imagine what yours could be. Let's find it. Layer 5. A part of us can naturally gravitate towards familiar routines. This layer helps us understand understandable setbacks. Picture Lisa Monroe, an artist from New York, who's been making great progress, journaling her feelings, meditating, embracing new, positive routines for weeks. Then, suddenly, a challenge would emerge, testing her resolve. An expert explained that sometimes a part of us prioritizes what's known, even if it's less than ideal, over embracing new growth. For Lisa, that challenge emerged during a high point, a successful gallery show. A deep-seated pattern of thinking surfaced. Who are you without this familiar support? It presented old comfort zones, anything to pull her back to previous ways. But here's the empowering twist. Those strong feelings of uncertainty, right before a breakthrough, they're positive indicators you're making progress. Lisa learned to acknowledge them, finding calm amidst the temporary discomfort, much like navigating a challenging moment. This is my moment for growth, she affirmed. And on the other side, a stronger, more authentic self. When these moments arise, it's not a step backward. It's part of moving forward. Embrace it and watch positive changes unfold. Layer 6. Emotional stillness as a subtle signal. Initially, it can feel invigorating, but over time, it may become routine and uninspiring. That's what happened to David Ellis, a salesman from Miami, who continued a particular routine even after its initial appeal faded. It no longer brought joy. Instead, it served as a way to avoid deeper emotions. An expert described this emotional stillness as a particularly challenging phase, where certain drives could become a way to dull feelings, shifting our natural responses rather than eliminating them. David's life began to feel muted. Work felt uninspired, and connections with friends became less vibrant. He was present physically, but felt disconnected from his own experiences. But an inner voice urged him to seek more. He began to reconnect with himself through small, intentional actions, a peaceful morning coffee, a focused jog, and acknowledging his feelings directly. Beneath the emotional stillness wasn't emptiness. It was his true self, ready to emerge. If you're experiencing this, know your inner strength is still present, encouraging you forward. Begin with small steps. Allow yourself to feel and rediscover the richness you've been missing. And now, we're approaching the pinnacle, the final 3 layers that transform everything. These aren't about struggle. They're about rebirth. You'll see why the end of addiction feels like quiet indifference, why letting go leads to true power, and what it means to integrate your shadows into wholeness. If you've dreamed of a life beyond the pull, this is your roadmap. You're so close. Let's step into it. You've quieted the storm, made friends with the silence, and now you're on the threshold of a new existence. It's not flashy. It's profound, like the calm after a long journey. Dr. Benjamin Cole didn't just study the mind. He lived its truths, teaching that our path is to embrace the hidden self and return to our essence. This is that homecoming. Let's unveil the last layers together with stories that might just touch your heart. Layer 7. When the craving dims, embrace the quiet rebirth. It sneaks up subtly. No fanfare, just a subtle shift. For Rebecca Hayes, a writer from Portland, it happened one ordinary morning. The urge that once dominated her thoughts was quieter. She went about her day, realizing it hadn't crossed her mind. But instead of elation, there was a strange emptiness. Dr. Cole described this as the ego's confusion, when old patterns dissolve, leaving space for the new. Rebecca almost panicked, tempted to stir up the noise again. But she stayed with it. And in that stillness, real desires emerged. Writing stories that mattered, connecting deeply with friends. The fading isn't loss. It's an invitation to depth. If you're here, feeling that odd calm, lean in. Your true passions are whispering. Listen, and let them bloom. Layer 8. True strength in the choice to abstain. Forget the myth of invincibility. Healing is in the deliberate no. Alex Thompson, no relation to Jack, a chef from San Francisco, thought overcoming meant never feeling tempted. But temptations came, like old friends knocking. Dr. Cole taught that power lies in acknowledging them and choosing otherwise, not from fear, but growth. For Alex, it became a quiet confidence. I see you, but I don't need you. He built a life of peace, cooking meals that nourished body and soul, sharing laughs with his team. It's not about walls, it's about wings forged from past breaks. You have that power too, friend. Live it. and feel the freedom. Layer 9. Integrating the shadow for wholeness. The darkness doesn't vanish. It becomes part of you, under your guidance. Dr. Cole's final wisdom. Life's goal is wholeness, not perfection. For Kevin Brooks, a teacher from Atlanta, the old urges lingered, but now he recognized them, smiled, and chose differently. No more battles, just understanding. Kevin integrated it all, the failures, the hungers, turning them into wisdom. Now he responds with clarity, deliberate in his choices. You're not erasing the past, you're weaving it into strength. That's true liberation. So, as our story wraps, what will you do next? If these layers stirred something, sit with it. Ask, what illusion do I still chase? What am I avoiding? Who could I be if I faced it? Dr. Cole reminded us, make the unconscious conscious, or it steers your life as fate. But you've seen the truth now. You're awake. If this moved you, reflect on it. Your journey's just beginning, and it's brighter than you know.